So, very good hello from my side to everyone present here. I am Arya from India. I would like to take my name in a way. So here goes. I'm Arya Sheetal Amol Pagare. So this is one more project I've worked on in DFC itself, which had which are named Ma Tujhe Salam. That means we should give equal priority to our mothers as well. In India, it's kind of a stereotype that we usually take our father's name, but now that we also need to give same exposure and same respect from others as well, I take my name that way. So it's like my name, my mother's name, my father's name, and then my surname.
So my name's Clara Woodbridge. I've always liked doing design for change ever since 5th grade, when my design for change teacher helped us do remove some waste in the communities, like around us. And I am in Idaho. It's 8 o'clock here. I don't know what time it is there. So, but I believe it is good night, good afternoon, good evening to you. But here it is good morning. So hello, everyone.
Okay, wow, that was a very good introduction, Clara. It's quite interesting to know that you and Sanjli, you both share the same country. So how would you like to introduce her in terms of like the same country sharing?
Yeah, so thank you. We're both from the United States. We, like Sanjli, you represent the United States, and as do I. So
that's right.
Well, nice. Now, Sanjli, like, how would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Sure. Well, so nice to meet you both. I'm so honored to be interviewed by you and share a little bit about myself. So my name is Sanjli, and I am the Director of Design for Change USA. Had the opportunity to bring the movement to the US after meeting Karen over 10 years ago. And it's been such an exciting journey ever since, in that we've got to grow Design for Change from a very small idea in the US to almost covering about 30 states. And so we have students from kindergarten all the way up to grade 12 using some of new resources that we've developed through Design for Change, including digital platform and podcasts. And it's just been really exciting to see how all the different ways we can support teachers and students in pursuing Feel, Imagine, Do, Share. And I've also, of course, had the opportunity to do a lot of work in Idaho, as in Sandpoint, Idaho, which, Clara, that's where you're from, right? And we've had the greatest opportunity to take students from Sandpoint, Idaho to Spain for the Design for Change Global Conference. And it was just wonderful. But the work that's happening in Sandpoint, Idaho is very close to our heart, and is a strong example of what is possible when students do Feel, Imagine, Do, Share.
Yeah,
Oh, just Clara, you can carry on. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. It's fine. Go ahead.
Yes. So actually, Clara and I, we are full of enthusiasm to interview you, and this is Clara's first time she's interviewing someone. So that is going to be her first lifetime experience. Yes. So keeping this part aside, we would now like to let you know that why are we conducting this session, this masterclass with you today. We absolutely know that all our dear DFC members, board members, are very charming and very optimistic, like their way. So basically we want to let us know your journey more and how have you been throughout it, and to share a very good bond and a deep bond with you all. We would like to know that you like from few of the questions we have noted down, we have chalked down to ask you. So are you ready to answer those?
Yes, let's do it.
Yes. Before that, I would just like to give you a brief, like how is this gonna run, like this master class. So firstly, we have already done with our intro, and I've told you why we've been conducting this session. Firstly, we'll have a session of quite serious questions, which will let us know more about how has your journey been through DFC, and which will definitely help us excel into our skills and enhance some of those. Also, it will let us know some of your views through which maybe we can improvise ourselves. After then, we'll have, obviously, our DFC meetings don't end without any fun part. So we'll have a funny icebreaker round, fun rapid question session with you. And after then, we'll close the loop and we'll have very sweet goodbyes.
Great. No pressure.
Okay. So let's start with the questions.
Okay. So Sanjli, how has Design for Change affected your life and career?
Ooh, that's a big one. So a little bit of background about myself. Before moving to the States, I actually grew up in Canada, where there was sort of a standard level of education and everybody got good education. When I moved to the States, I realized that that is actually not true for all students. Public education is not always great for everybody. It just really depends on where you live. I was working in a career in marketing and advertising, but was really interested in design thinking and how that married with education. And I had a real opportunity to actually come and meet Karen at the Riverside School after hearing her TED Talk, and was immediately sold. I was watching how deeply engaged all the students were at the Riverside School, and I said, really thought something special is happening here. And this needs to be the way that all kids are educated, but not just all kids, actually adults can benefit from this process just as much as young people can. And so internalizing the process for myself, I went through my own Feel, Imagine, Do, Share journey. I was laid off from my job and I got to really feel what could be possible for me, myself, and my career. And that was working in education. I really desperately wanted to be working with kids and teachers and revolutionizing what could be possible in the American education system. And then imagine how I could bring Design for Change to the US and grow it. And so I did my master's in education, and I completely changed careers, and I had a focus of Design for Change and how to grow it in my master's program. And then I did it. I started to pilot it, and I piloted it in the most difficult of conditions in the US, in a South Dakota Native American reservation, where they have very limited access to, internet and transportation. And it's, when you think of US, you don't think of these people, right? Are people that have been here for so long, but are really treated honestly, in my opinion, unfairly. And so launched it there. And that was my first realization of the power of Design for Change and the impact that it can have on students, and really transitioning them from a helpless mindset to understanding their potential and harnessing that to do good. And then I got to share it, right? I got to share it with all teachers and students across the US in a way that really was true to our context. A lot of our teachers are online and using digital platforms. And so we're able to reach a lot more teachers that way. And so that was my journey through Feel, Imagine, Do, Share. Yeah. And that is how it's changed me as a person. Anything is possible through this process.
That's really powerful.
So I would like to go be.
Oh, Arya, I think we lost your sound.
Am I? Yeah. So I would like to ask you that what has made you participate in DFC? I know you've already told that you've got all that positivity and all that has inspired you throughout, but one main aspect that has really changed your view throughout and that has made you participate and be a part of DFC?
Sure. Actually, what hooked me was the first time we did Design for Change in this community in South Dakota, is that we actually took students who had never traveled before and took them to India. Imagine students from a Native American reservation traveling to India. They had no form of identification. We got them visas, we got them everything. And they came to India and to Ahmedabad, Riverside School. And they felt very empowered from that whole experience in their project, that they came back and started creating even bigger impact in their community. And actually, oftentimes we even hear that some of our students have changed their career trajectories. They wanted to do one thing, but now they're doing social justice work, and now they're pursuing a law degree because they had this experience with Design for Change. And I think that's what has hooked me the most, is that you never know at what moment in time that something clicks with a child through this experience, and it completely transforms the way they see themselves and the way that they see others. And that is why I've stuck with Design for Change for this long and hope to always continue, because that it had that impression on me, and I know that it has that impression on so many other young minds.
Now, that was very good to hear.
Yeah,
Would you like to go next?
sure. Being a change maker and a part of Design for Change, have you ever noticed any positive happenings around you down the years? Rather, has it personally made you a better person in any aspect? Like just in any aspect? Like, what do you think?
So you're asking me like moments where I've seen just a lot of positive change through Design for Change? Yeah.
Yeah, and like, how do you think, like, have you noticed positive changes around you, and then how has that changed you?
Yeah. So I'll use actually an example from Idaho, where you are, Clara, and Ann Dickinson, who is not who I met through Design for Change, but has since become a very good friend of mine, and is an example of what is possible through Design for Change. She started with one project of which she didn't even consider submitting. I had to really encourage her to submit this project, and then her students, of course, were selected to go on to the global conference. But through the years, Anne and I have not only just stayed in touch, have continued to work together. And since then, Design for Change has become a class and a course in her school. And so it's gone from just sort of being this project on the side that a couple of students have done to actually being a fully implemented course at the school. So we're seeing more and more of that teachers are really recognizing the power of Design for Change and actually advocating for it. So it's not just us, right, at Design for Change USA. It's actually teachers saying, no, this needs to be in our school. This deeply engages our students. We need more of this. This is how all students should learn. So it's coming from the teachers and not just us. And so that's been really exciting to see.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That was really, really very nice to hear again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like your voice makes your answers more, what do I say? It enhances it, basically. So good to hear answers from you.
Thank you. Well, as you know, it's easy to feel very passionate about this work because, I mean, you guys just inspire us every single day, so.
Okay, so the next interrogation will be by me. What all difficulties can superheroes encounter according to you, as you are one?
Oh, so many, so many. But through Feel, Imagine, Do, Share, all of those difficulties are real opportunities and points of iteration, right? So my favorite part of Feel, Imagine, Do, Share is, of course, feel, because what students need to do through the feel process is really get to the root cause of the issue, right? And typically what we often, sorry, my kids are running around in the background. So they need to get to the root cause of the issue. And so they don't ask the right questions, they solve the wrong problems. And oftentimes we see students and they go in with all kinds of preconceived notions or assumptions about people, which are countered through the interview process. And so those are some of the difficulties, is challenging our own internal assumptions about people. So that's one. In the do stage is learning from failure. It's not often that we as people are good at understanding that it's okay to fail. And how to recover from that is what Feel, Imagine, Do, Share the whole process teaches you, right? And so that is a difficulty, right? Where we need to learn how to fail and fail forward and fail better. And that is a mindset shift for a lot of people. And it's not just for students, it's for teachers too. They're scared of letting their students fail. And so that is a difficulty that they do encounter, but they do also overcome through Feel, Imagine, Do, Share, because do is all about prototyping and iterating, and keep iterating until you can get it right.
No, that was a good one.
That was really powerful. Thank you so much. In accordance with your opinion, what is one major issue that you think is dragging back our global society?
Oh, wow. Okay. I think that trust is a big issue. Not only have we lost trust in each other, we have lost trust in ourselves. And oftentimes the education systems that we're operating in teaches us not to trust ourselves. Because if teachers are not showing trust to their students to move forward and take big risks and take on challenges that are not, just academically aligned, and it's not just about math and English and core subject areas, but to trust them to take those big risks to actually do something that creates meaningful change. Students don't learn how to trust themselves. And it's really important to build that sense of self-confidence so we can create change. So we need to continue to build moments and opportunities and experiences around trust throughout throughout the world and amongst each other. And so I hope that over time that we can continue towards that goal.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, so this would be the last one to go for the serious type questions. And although it's the last one, this was my very first question to you when I've actually, I've met you virtually for the first time. So this was the very first one that had clicked me when I'd seen you and when you shared a word with me. It was so nice to meet you. So here goes. Where do you gather all that optimism and all that potential from? How you always have that smile on yourself.
Where do I get all my optimism around design for change? So much of it comes, to be honest, from my own children. So I have 3. And they're all at various different ages. So I have an almost 11-year-old, a 7.5-year-old, and an almost 5-year-old. I see a lot of the world through their eyes, and I get to see what is possible. My husband and I did Design for Change as just a fun project in my son's grade 1 class. And the ideas that they come up with just at grade 1 will, blow your mind. And because they don't hold back on what might be possible. I think as we get older, we start to think more critically about and to hold ourselves back. But they give me a lot of optimism around what is truly possible through Feel, Imagine, Do, Share. And of course, our students are always pushing the envelope and advocating for the changes that they want to see. And they're not scared. They're not scared to try new things and be bold in a way that sometimes adults are not. So they give me hope for what our future is going to be.
Oh, really? Kids are the purest of all.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they always do inspire us. They're really. So that has really wowed me. That was a brilliant questionnaire, and the answers we have received, they were absolutely stupendous. Thank you so much. Now, I guess we'll have some fun. Let's have those fun rapid questions with you.
All right.
Clara, would you like to add on something?
Not really. I think we could just start the questions if you.
Yes.
All right.
Let's begin with you.
Okay, so what is the best project you've brainstormed? Like the best Design for Change project you think you've ever brainstormed?
That I've ever done myself, like a Design for Change project?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so not good at rapid fire. The best, just doing it. like actually bringing Design for Change to the US was probably my favorite Design for Change project.
Oh,
That's a big one.
yeah, that was a really good contribution. Okay, from me, it's okay, I'll go for this one. So if you were ever given a chance to travel into the past or into the future, which one would you choose?
Future.
Oh,
I don't know why I
that's
just said that. It just came to me
yeah,
first.
actually, I do have a general answer to it because we all are more excited to know what is highlighting in our future and other stuff like that. Maybe that's one reason.
Yeah, I'm curious on how our world will be so different as a result of so many of these things that we're doing, right? And the hard work that all of our students are putting in to change the world. Like, what is our future going to look like because of their actions? And we will be the recipients of it. So I'd love to know. I'd love to have a glimpse into the future.
Yes. Nice.
Interesting. I'm
What
a
else you
past person all the way.
You're a past person? You should
I'm a
be a
past
past person too. Why are you a past person?
I would want to go back and learn about like all of the hidden details that we don't know about today. Like what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? I'd like to go back and find out. Like things like that. Just like find out what actually happened. Things like that.
You want to travel way back into history.
No, I would go way back.
Yeah. That is so cool. I love that. Usually I would be a past person too. I don't know why I said future. That was interesting.
I mean, hey, if you're a future person, you're a future person.
Yeah, I guess. All right. What's next?
Okay. So Clara, would you like to go for the next question?
Sure. How many languages have you learned while being a part of Design for Change, and which ones have you used the most often?
3, I would say. Obviously English, I probably use the most. Hindi, which I've grown up speaking, but I've also used it a lot when I was in India for various different purposes around Design for Change. And then Spanish, I got to really practice and hone in on my Spanish because we've got so many great partners from Spanish-speaking countries. But there was this really special person named Brother Juan, who we're all huge fans of, and really helped us get into Catholic education. But he didn't speak English, but oh my gosh, I always wanted to chat his ear off, but I spoke to him in broken Spanish, and I really tried to get better just because I loved him so much, and I still do. I think he's the sweetest, most wonderful person in the world. And so I want to practice and learn more. My closest Design for Change partner friend is Taiwan. So here and there, I get little glimpses into language as well. So I get to be exposed to so many, and I have to do better about learning them.
Oh, that was a sweet gesture, actually.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, definitely. It was cool. And the thing you'd mentioned that you improved it, improvised your language for someone really close to you. That was
like
really sweet.
I speak Spanglish, like some broken English in there. I have no idea. I don't know if anybody else understands what I say, but
languages aren't any barriers today. So
yep.
We can speak in any language. Emotions do matter.
Emotions matter, yeah.
Yes.
I can speak to a preschooler in Spanish. That's about as far as my skill level goes.
Hey, that's pretty awesome. It's probably more than any of us can do. My favorite language, though, if you ask me, is dance.
Oh, interesting.
Like, okay. I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's universal. Music and dance is just, it's a huge part of who I am. And food.
Yeah. That cannot be left behind.
Yeah, there's other languages than the ones that we think of. So there's other ways to communicate ourselves to the world.
All right. Okay, so a fun fact I know about you is that you love traveling. You absolutely love traveling. So when you're traveling in India, as you've mentioned that you have been to Delhi and Chennai, so have you explored the food in there?
Yes.
And which was the place you found the best food and the best taste in?
Oh, I love South Indian food. So I do enjoy that. I just love all regions of India, to be honest. And for the first time, I got to go to Shimla, and that is more in the mountainous regions, and really got to appreciate some new tastes, which was really nice. And they have a lot of apple orchards there, which I had no idea about. And so they make different types of concentrates and jams and juices and pickles, all things that I love. So, but I do come back to my roots. I'm Punjabi. My mom is from a region of Punjab, and so I always love food from North India.
Oh wow, interesting to know. My favorite cuisine in India is Punjabi. I love
Is
food. I love spices.
Me too. I eat this one dish, Clara. It's called curry chawal, which is just like a curry and rice dish, but nobody makes it better than my mom.
Oh, for me, I would like vote for that for my mom because I love what she makes.
Right? You
curry
know what? You
chawal.
just love mom cooking.
Yes.
Yes, no, definitely. Okay, so what is your favorite cupcake flavor?
Oh wow.
So you'll be surprised to know this. I am an obsessive baker. I bake everything, huge tiered cakes and all this stuff. I don't like cupcakes. I don't like cake. I just make it and I like to give it to other people. But my favorite one to make for everyone else is called a midnight cake. It's a dark espresso dark chocolate cake.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I love it. That's my favorite one. It's very decadent and it's very moist. I make it for my husband every year on his birthday, but I love to bake. I just don't like to eat it.
Wow. Wow, that was very good to know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let me browse. What question should I ask you next? I'm getting really very interesting answers from you. So I also need to go for an interesting interrogation now. Okay, so you love traveling, as you've already committed that, and we know that about you. So are you a beach person or a mountain person?
Mountain 100%.
Oh, wow, great.
100%. That's my favorite place is on top of the mountain, and we go every year, multiple times a year if we can. And that's why we picked Shimla, because I love mountains.
Oh, nice, nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
Something about that mountain air.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Do
definitely.
you guys answer these questions? Or are you supposed to be answering them too? I want to know so much more about you.
Oh, sure. I would like go for mountains. I would vote mountains because whenever we are on the apex, we feel like we're on the top of the world, and that happens can be beat. So that is the reason I love mountains.
So freeing. I know. I hear you. What about you, Clara? Mountains or beach?
So I'm gonna have to go half and half because Sandpoint has both. We have a mountain and we have beaches.
Yeah.
So in the summer, I'm always wishing that I was up on the mountain, and in the winter, when I'm up skiing, I'm always like, I wish I was swimming. So it's about half and half for me. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a good point. Depending on the time of year, where do I want to be? Yeah, that's a really good point there. I know. I've seen your beaches; they're beautiful.
Thank you.
Clara, any more fun icebreakers?
Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's what I was excited about. What's your favorite word?
Oh,
Joy.
Joy?
Joy.
Joy.
Yeah. Joy is my favorite word. It's what I hope to give, and it's what I hope to experience in any moment of my life. We've actually nicknamed our youngest Joy.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that's
Sweet.
his. If you ask him, he says, "I say KV is mama's," and he says Joy. And that's just what I hope the world always feels is joy.
Okay, I have this one, maybe the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which is your favorite destination in terms of tidiness or cleanliness?
Do you mean like a country or a place or what?
Yeah, maybe a country. Yeah, a country.
A country. Tidiness and cleanliness. One of my favorite places in the world is in Canada. It's called Banff. I go every single year, and it is, again, it's this beautiful lake called Lake Louise, and it's like mint green, and it's situated between mountains. And I think it's probably my favorite place in the whole world because it feels so pure and so natural.
Oh, nice. For me, I've been to Singapore, and Singapore for me it is really very disciplinary, and actually it's really very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Although it's kind of artificial over there, but actually it's a built-up city, right? It's not naturally.
Yeah.
So that is one reason I love Singapore.
How cool, because it's so new too. Everything is so new.
Yes.
There. Yeah.
Clara, what about you?
I haven't been to like other countries per se, but I've been to other places in the US. I think the cleanest place that I've been to was Boise, and that's in southern Idaho. So we went to visit my aunt and uncle, and like it was such a clean city, which actually surprised me because I had been to some other big cities and they were not clean, and I saw this one, I was like, oh, it'll be the same, and I was like, no, actually they do, like, so I liked it, and it was kind of cool. They have like a river flowing right through the center of the town behind the big college.
Very cool.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, quite scenic. Nice. So Clara, now I would like to ask you to close the loop.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for interviewing with us today. Thank you, Sanjli, for listening to our bombardment of questions, and thank you, Arya, for helping me bombard her with questions. It's been great getting to talk to you guys and getting to know you, Sanjli. So thank you guys both so much.
Yes, it was Clara's first interviewing session. So has it like actually gave you an experience which is quite unforgettable? Of course.
You guys,
I do my best.
You guys were both amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to connect with me today. I'm so glad to know you both a little bit better, and looking forward to also working with you more in the future.
Yes, same here. I would actually like to work with you, with such a joyful person.
trying every day.
Yes,
but keep up the good work. You guys are amazing, and Design for Change is truly lucky to have you.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, thank you. You as well.